Today is the start of Child Abuse Prevention Month, and infants face the greatest risk. Babies make up nearly 20% of all reports of abuse and neglect, but investigator Rebecca Lindstrom says there are some parents lumped into that statistic who adamantly deny their children were abused by anyone.
There is a group of pediatricians specially trained to recognize potential signs of abuse. It should be one factor in an investigation. But I've now spoken with nearly 24 families who say they rushed their child to the hospital for help, only to leave blindsided when that one report was used to take their children away. Baby bottles, a crib, and toys. It is a house frozen in time. This father's 2 girls are gone.
What's it like to go to sleep in this house?
It's lonely.
Not even Matt Hernandez's wife, Tuckey, is living here because of the bond conditions on their criminal charges for child cruelty and battery. It started when Tuckey noticed Emma had a swollen leg. They took her to their pediatrician, who referred them to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
We did nothing to hide anything.
It was there they also showed doctors a picture of a reddish spot found earlier behind their newborn's ear. They answered questions without hesitation, unaware the child abuse pediatrician, or CAP, had already reviewed Emma's x-rays.
It was some healed ribs and some fractures on her femur and tibia.
A parent who has abused their child isn't likely to admit it. But what's interesting is that Emma's injuries didn't magically stop when her parents lost custody. First, she went to live with her aunt and uncle.
About 5 weeks in, we woke her up one morning and she had the strange bruising, discoloration on her feet and one of her ankles.
DFACS accused them of letting the mother, Tuckey, sneak over to again abuse the baby.
No, we completely have been doing everything by the book.
Still, the girls were removed, but the marks kept showing up in her foster home and daycare. Jonathan and Jennifer Williams started raising their own questions about Emma's health when DFACS asked them to watch the girls for a few days. They told the juvenile court judge they believed Emma had an undiagnosed health problem and were shocked by the testimony defending DFACS's decision to instead put the girls in state custody for abuse.
I saw nothing presented as evidence that indicated this family had hurt their child at all.
Court records show no one disputes the x-rays reveal injuries to Emma's bones, that Tuckey's vitamin D levels were low during pregnancy, or that Emma's levels were low when she came into the hospital. But doctors do disagree on the cause of those fractures and the impact of that vitamin D deficiency.
It seems like entire cases hinge on just one child abuse pediatrician saying this is abuse.
Emma's parents want genetic testing to rule out any other illnesses that could have weakened her bones.
You offered to pay for it.
Offered to pay for it.
6 months after the girls were removed, the court agreed to the testing, but it is a process that can take months. Meanwhile, this family functions in fragments. Each week, a few hours.
I want mommy, I want my mommy, I want my mom.
Supervised visits, first with mom and later with dad.
It's just cruel.
Abused children do need protection. So the fact these doctors raised a red flag isn't the concern. It is the roadblocks these parents face to get a second medical opinion and the length of time and money that is required to try to prove they're innocent. That is what we mean when we say the help that harms. We will be exploring this complicated issue in the weeks ahead.
Certainly important and eye-opening. Rebecca, thank you so much. There is a lot to unpack with the Hernandez, a story that we just could not fit into tonight's broadcast piece. Investigator Rebecca Lindstrom goes more in depth tonight at 6:30 p.m. on our streaming app, 11 Alive Plus.